Don't you rip my lace dress. Do you like my dress? Ow, ow, ow. Get your claws out. Hello, my dear friends and people who I consider family. This is Gotta Love Linda, and I'm doing a Gotta Love Linda Christmas/New Year's letter. I thought a fair bit's gone on this year, so maybe I would make you a video. If I keep looking to the right, it's because I've got a kitten on a leash and he's trying to explore further than the leash will go. So just on that, we will begin with Mick and his kitty cats. So poor Mick has had a rough year with cats this year. He literally is an animal whisperer. And yet one day Ruby, his boy of 5 years old, I think, excuse me, he went missing. He just never came home. And we were devastated, especially Mick, of course, because he adores his kitty cats. They are everything to him. And we did all the normal put up signs, alerted, you know, AWL and RSPCA and all the Facebook groups, and he never came home. So after a month or so, we actually did something we've never done before, and we bought a kitten from Animal Welfare League. We usually get the free ones, but I worked out that if we got one from Animal Welfare League, not only are we supporting them and rescuing a kitten who was abandoned or whatever, stray, you never know what's happened to them, but when you add up all the costs, it actually would equal about the cost that it costs. So we bought a little kitten for $200, and that included vaccinations, desexing, microchipping, all of that. So he was beautiful. And Mick chose, there were only 3 kittens available. Mick chose a smoky tabby, which is a bit more rare. And he called him Nike. Very Mick. He was gorgeous and such a rat bag, but he was the most beautiful little kitten. So Mick had him for about 3 months, and then we don't know what happened. He must have snuck out. And yeah, again, just like Ruby, he disappeared, and we suspect he might have been stolen. Being a more rare kind of kitten, we think that might have happened. So, but we don't know, because we also live right near it. Hello? Hello? You're coming to say hello. Say hello to everybody. Meet Turbo, everyone. We've lost our proper leash. We've got to fight. Oh, you got spider webs all over you. Where have you been? Get off me with spider webs. Go. What a little dad. He's so cute though, isn't he? So, yeah, we suspect if he hadn't been stolen, then he might have actually been hit by a train or a bus or a truck or something, because we live right near the bridge in our suburb, and right near the interchange, which has, you know, buses and trains and freight trains and everything. So sorry, I keep watching him. He's so funny. So anyway, after another month of doing the same thing all over again and alerting everyone all over Facebook and the groups and everything, Mick just needed a kitty cat. And by that stage, I was kind of sure that, yeah, something bad had happened to poor little Nike, who we adored. Like, he was the first of Mick's cats that I've actually also bonded with. And so, yeah, I was a bit, well, very sad too. So anyway, then we got this little munchkin, and this little munchkin is actually very, very special. Firstly, he's special because we got him from some cousins up in the Riverland. They made a trip down to Adelaide especially for us. And yeah, Monique and Lisa, we can't thank you enough. But this little rat bag is also his domestic short breed, I think that's short hair. He's a ragdoll, and that's also crossed with Siamese. So he's a unique little boy, and yeah, expensive little boy, I reckon too. So we don't let him outside unless he's on a leash, because we don't want to lose another one, especially this cute little face. Say hello. Nah, he doesn't want to look. He's adorable. We love him. So that's one of the first things that's happened this year that's kind of continued on throughout the year. The next thing I want to share about with you is, it's something that Mick and I are both doing, but God instigated it through me, I guess. So last year during a prayer meeting, I go to Monday night prayer at our church. I love praying with other people, and we pray for a lot of whatever's going on at our church and all the ministries and staff and everything. And during a bigger prayer meeting one night, I actually felt prompted, and I got a vision in my head of God really pushing me, or asking me, not even asking, maybe telling me to make a sign and go into Rundle Mall and offer prayer and to offer a shoulder. Basically, yeah, he just wanted me to go out there and be there for people who might not have somebody to talk to. So I made a sign, and I'll show you a photo of that in a minute, in this little gap. So that's what the sign says. And I went out into Rundle Mall twice on a Tuesday afternoon with my sign and offered prayer. And I had a couple people each time. So I did that for an hour, and then I would go down to the the foyer. And I had a couple of times there too where I was able to pray with people. What a privilege to actually be able to pray for people. Do you know what a privilege and honor that is? Wow. And like, I was really scared. My heart was thumping, because I'm like, I'm not a good prayer. Well, you know, I talk to God the way I'm talking to you now. I ramble, I dribble, I say all sorts. I'm not very eloquent. But it soon made it, well, it became clear. God told me that it doesn't really matter how you pray. This is what I've asked you to do, and I want you to do it. So anyway, on the second time that I did it, the security at the RA came, and sorry, this is wobbling. Turbo's having a bath on my scooter, and I've got the camera mounted on it. You rat bag. So yeah, the second time, the security guards in the RA came up to me and said, look, we understand what you're doing, and it's really nice what you're trying to do, but admin have said you're proselytizing. You know the word. Anyway, and so admin have said that you have to go. I was so deflated. They said, you can put your sign away and stay. And I'm like, the sign's the whole point. So, yeah, basically I lost all my confidence and didn't go back. Then in January this year, Pastor Noel did a message about getting out of your safe place into a grace place. Now, I've heard the message a lot in terms of getting out your comfort zone and going and doing stuff for God. But I don't know, the way Noel worded it was really beautiful, and I loved it, and I felt a huge pricking in my heart, and that was all conviction, not pricking. And that was God saying, hey Linda, remember what I asked you to do? And you only did it twice, so I want you to go back and do it again. And I'm like, oh, big conviction. So I got out my sign, dusted off the cobwebs, and I was going to start. But actually, before I went back to redo it, I was in Rundle Mall on an evening and on a Friday night, because sometimes it's actually quicker and easier to go to the Kmart in the city than it is other Kmarts around, because lots of reasons. Anyway, and there was this group that had a sign, a huge sign, like you have to literally look up like that to see that sign. And I went up to the guy holding it, and I just asked him, well, I basically, excuse me, I briefly told him my story, what I've just told you, but quicker. Yes, that is possible. And I asked him, do you need a permit to do this? Because I don't want to get kicked out of Rundle Mall. And yet God's making it very clear what I need to do. And he actually said, well, if you're serious about it, you can actually join our group. And I was like, really? And so I was so thankful. So the next day, they actually also do Friday nights in the mall, but then Saturdays in Chinatown. So I went the next day. I don't think I went to Chinatown, but there was also part of their group, or I'm not sure if it's a separate group, but they're linked. I went into the mall with them on the Saturday, and it was really great. Turns out my foster uncle, who I haven't seen in like 30-something, 40 years, is part of our group. And I was so excited because it also meant that to do this stuff, he was not just a Sunday Christian. He was one who really believed it and lived it and just was passionate about people knowing God. I was so over the moon. It was the best news. And so that was that day. And then I started going on Friday nights. I think I only went 2 or 3 weeks. And then I started getting sick. And I'm like, no. And this is going to also lead into my next subject. So I'm going to probably jump around here and there. So I ended up getting sick, and I thought, oh, this is spiritual attack. That's what this is. The devil does not want me doing this at all. Because over the course of about 4 or 5 weeks, I had norovirus. I had a redback spider bite. I had, was something in my arm or my leg? I don't know, some type of, I think I couldn't move my right arm. It was just, just really random stuff, you know, stuff that's like, where did that come from? And then to top it all off, so I actually ended up in emergency 4 times in the space of a month with different things. So the 4th time I had a chest infection, and it was nasty. And I'd already had it for 2 weeks when I went in there because I just didn't know what else to do. And my doctor's situation is all over the place. Like, our doctor's surgery just shut down without anyone knowing. Like, they didn't let anyone know, and it was really bad. And so this whole year I've been struggling to find a doctor that will actually help me. So I went in there and said, look, I've had this for 2 weeks. I'm not getting better. Can you help me? And so they actually did a chest x-ray just to see if it was asthma related, I think. And then they put me on 2 different antibiotics that were, now I'm trying to remember, it was a long time ago, February or March it was. One was just a strong, one was one to stop me getting pneumonia, but it was still an antibiotic. And then the other one was just a normal antibiotic, I think. And then they only gave me 1 course of them. So when I ran out, I rang a locum, and he gave me a 2nd course of both of them. That still wasn't working. So this is 2 weeks later now. I rang the locum. Well, actually, I wasn't going to ring anyone, but darling Jane, she's a bit like a mum, tells me off when I need it, and keeps me accountable with health, especially with health. And I love you for it, Joan. So she said, look, Linda, I think you need more than just antibiotics. You need to see a proper doctor, not one that's a teleconference. Anyway, she did also say, you even just for now, you need to see a doctor no matter where from. So I rang the locum again, and he actually said, look, it would not be in my duty of care to give you another lot when you've already had 2 courses. Oh, he's stretching out. Oh, hello, Turbs. Can you get rid of the cobwebs so that I can properly cuddle you? Oh, he's so cute. I really want to show you him, but then I've got to take the camera out of the thing, and he's back to having a bath. Oh, he has got rid of a lot of his cobwebs. Clever boy. He knows Auntie Linda doesn't like them. Yeah, you do, don't you? Anyway, so he said it would be bad of me to give you a third course. So I'm going to suggest you go to emergency instead. And I'm like, oh, do I have to? And he's like, I said, can I wait till tomorrow? Because it's like 10 o'clock now and I'll only have 2 hours with public transport. And he said, well, yeah, you can wait till tomorrow. So the next day, I actually wasn't going to go. And this is when Joan again said, Linda. And so, so I went into the raw emergency. Some people ask why I don't go to Lowell Mac. It's actually easier transport-wise to get on a train to go to the city than it is to get on a bus to go to Lowell Mac. So I went in and I told them at triage, and straight away they had me into a cubicle because like they were like, it's day 25 and you've had 2 courses of 2 different antibiotics and you're no better. And I'm like, yeah. So they were like, yeah, we got to look into this. And turns out in the morning, like they did a x-ray and found, same as before, there was really nothing showing up. Then they said, we're going to do a CT scan with contrast because it could be asthma related. Now, I haven't had asthma for years, except when I'm sick. I get it when I'm sick. And these days, it's more of an allergy asthma than whatever. But it was really bad. I was struggling to breathe. And so they were looking at asthma stuff. When the CT results came back, the doctor came in, shut the door and sat down. And I'm like, that's a bit weird. And she's just started off, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. And again, I'm thinking, uh-oh, what is going on? And she said, look, we found some enlarged lymph nodes around your heart. And I'm straight away going, no, my dad, my beautiful dad, he died of heart disease. Like, our whole lives he had heart disease. So this is something that I'm always, you're gonna fall. Hey, you can't do that. Oh my God, yeah, oh my gosh. What a little dag. He managed to catch himself in time. Here I am sharing about something serious and he just cracks me up. So, yeah, she's going around your lymph nodes around your heart, and there shows 2 spots. And the 2 spots usually indicate cancer. And I'm just like, what? Like, cancer's not even on my radar at all. It's always heart disease. That's what's on my radar. And all she kept saying was, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. And I'm just, yeah, I'm sure you can imagine the shock. And so once I started crying, and because she said where it is on my spine that showed up, it would be breast cancer. And I'm just like, I'm crying my eyes out because all the people I'd known with breast cancer have passed away. And I especially think of my beautiful Faisy and the struggles that she went through. And there have been others too, but she's just, for me, she's the special one. So I'm just freaking out. She said, I'll leave you to just deal with it. And I rang straight away. I rang my adoptive surrogate Irish parents and bawled my eyes out to them. Don't you rip my lace dress. Do you like my dress? Don't you make a mess of it. And then I rang my 2 closest friends. Ow, get your claws out. Roxanne and Michelle. And Roxanne came straight in. Like, Michelle couldn't because she's a long way away. But Roxanne came straight in, bought me some food, and she just stayed with me the whole day until they let me go. And they were trying to organise a mammogram. And anyway, all the details about my cancer journey are actually in a playlist called Gotta Not Love Cancer. So all the details are there, especially the first video, the second video maybe. You can also join my Linda's Health Happenings on Facebook groups, and that is where I keep everybody up to date as well. So I won't keep going on and on and on about the cancer stuff because I've talked a fair bit already about it. But yeah, it's been a huge journey. And in that first week, I just catastrophized. What's going to happen to Mick? Oh my gosh, I can't leave Michael. I can't do this. I can't do that. Yeah, it was bad. And then God started changing my thinking. And I came around to the point. Hey, what are you doing? That's my dress. He's a rat bag. So then I came around to the thinking that, you know what? This is in God's plan. God knows what he's doing. And I just got to trust him. And, ow! You attacker. You little attacker. His claws go right through my dress. Oh, you big fat meanie. I'm not a toy. I'm not a toy. And now he's getting Lidl caught up. So yeah, anyway, go look at, sorry, kitty cat distracted me. Go look at my playlist on that for all the videos about it. And you know, I do videos of appointments and everything. Some of them I've actually included what the machines look like the radiotherapy machine and stuff, because you know, for those who don't have cancer and have never been through it, you hear about these things but you don't know what they look like or how they work. So the lovely people at the RA have really looked after me, and it's been fantastic. So yeah, God is really changing my thinking about cancer, well, for me personally and my situation. And you know what, it doesn't really matter what happens because God's got my back. That's how I feel. And the doctors gave me between 3 and 12 years, but they were looking around 8 or 9 years I've got left. But leading to the next thing, Mick and I, thanks to our friend Diana, took us to some healing services at Field of Dreams Church, and they had these Argentinian brothers there who were doing healing. This is in early August. So I had a PET scan in the morning, and then that night I went to the healing service. And firstly, the best news is that God healed Mick of his depression. So exciting. And at first I was like, are you really healed or do you want to be healed? But when I asked him questions, it was like, yeah, you can tell this is a real true blue healing. And that means that in 20 years apart, God has healed us both miraculously of depression. Like, that is the best, so exciting news. I love it. It's so cool. But God also, he also healed me of some stuff in my mobility, like I can walk a bit easier. But when these guys prayed for me, they knew that I had cancer, and that's why I was there to get prayed for. But they didn't know anything else. But what they prayed was that the bad news the doctors told you is not what God says. And I'd already basically heard that people from my church, true prayer warriors, had already said, well, God's got a lot longer for you than the time span the doctors have given. And basically, like, that's the only bad news I could think of, that God's gonna keep me alive for a lot longer. And that really confirms what other people have said and prayed about and what God has told them. So yeah, I'm feeling really, really positive about the cancer stuff. And because I've realized that no matter how scary your trials are, if you've got God, it really, it makes such a difference. Like God has made a huge difference in my life. Mick and I have been through so much abuse as children, all kinds of abuse, so much as young adults and even as just normal adults, middle-aged adults. But God always comes through for us and makes it easier. And all we need to do is rely on him and trust him and obey his word. So yeah, so when God did this, I was like, this is amazing. Like for Mick, he has become so much fun. Like he's already been fun, but he's even more fun now. Like he's so funny. He just comes out with the, he just comes out with the funniest things. He just has me in fits all the time. I love it so much. What are you doing, Turbo? Turbs. Hey, Turbs. So yeah, Mick is, say hello. Say hello, people. Say, I'm the new rat bag of the house. Whoop. Look at him. He's got such a Siamese face. But then, don't put your arm down my top. But then look at his belly. It's like so ragdoll. You're so ragdoll under there, aren't you? Say hello. You look like you're gonna snap. You're such a little dag. He just, did you fart? You stinky boy. You stinky boy. Anyway, so yeah, just having God in your life can really make the biggest of differences. And I totally recommend, if you don't know him or if you don't know him very well, get to know him, because wow. Look at his fluffy tail. Whoa. That's your tail. And don't bite me, bite people. Say hello. So hello. Oh, he just heard Carly, his arch nemesis. She's just come out. Carly girl. But he tortures her. Yep, you wait. He wants to go get her. He's like, nah, I'm out of here. Yep, hear the hissing? Because she does not like him. He doesn't care. Sorry, this is such a long video. All right, I'm going to try and move on. So that night, I felt with all the healing and stuff, I have to go back to street work. Street mission, not street work. Street work, that was my other job. This one's not paid. This one's holy. So, yeah, I had stopped when I got that chest infection, and I was like, nah, God's doing stuff. I have to go back. So from that very next Friday, I've been there every single week since. And oh my gosh, it is the best thing. And then Mick started coming too. And for starters, when you obey God, you end up being so incredibly blessed. Like, I actually didn't even think about that part of it. All I thought of was boom, 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 boom. My heart's racing and I don't know if I can do this, but God told me I had to, so I'm going to do it. But when you obey him, oh my goodness, he brings so many blessings. One of the biggest blessings is the family that we've now got in Street Mission. That team of people very quickly became our family. I'm so blessed with the people God has put in our lives. And I think Mick feels the same. Like, the Street Mission people, oh man, they are incredible mentors and they teach us so much. And not only that, but they just, not even just about God, but we can have such an amazing good laugh together. And It's so much fun. And to get to share Jesus with other people together, like, what a privilege. It really is. It's amazing. So if you're ever bored on a Friday night, come into the mall. We're usually at the Mall's Balls. And Mick is usually there too now. Oh my goodness. Do you know, I actually think that maybe evangelism is Mick's gift, Mick's spiritual gift. He's amazing out there. He's just so on fire. And wow, I love watching him. It makes me smile. It makes me tear. I'm actually tearing up even thinking about it. He is amazing. It's just, yeah, I just feel all lit up when I see Mick doing his thing. And our friend Bonnie comes as well. And, oh, Turbs, you got yourself all caught up. Now I've got him all caught up. Hang on a minute. Oh my gosh, he was so caught up. I had to stop the video and move my chair. So yeah, we are loving that community and the people and the regulars who come by to say hello. I think of Stevie and there are others, and yeah, it's just incredible. As you can tell, I'm very passionate about street mission now, street evangelism. Moving on. This year in our mob, I entered 2 paintings, as I usually do. One was my normal style of Aboriginal painting. The other one I did in mixed media, and yeah, it was really, really cool. I wonder if I can go in the middle so I can show you both paintings at the same time. And our mob, I applied, well, you can submit your paintings to one of 2, well, to both different awards. One is a Don Dunstan award worth $5,000, and one is the Trevor someone. And anyway, that's $2,500. I was in the top 3. I was so excited. The lady who actually bought my painting, my mixed media one, she was one of the judges, and she said, oh, it was such a hard choice between you and 2 others. And so I didn't get the award, but I got a high commendation. So that was exciting. Turbo, come back here. Now he's trying to strangle himself because he's trying to go further than the lead, silly boy. Anyway, so that was a major boost for my self-esteem and stuff. And speaking of creativeness, I have my first book coming out, first and probably only so far, a book of poetry. Some of you might remember that last year in November, I did a 21-day challenge of you have to write a poem a day. So, and then at the end you can get them printed. So I worked out later, like this year, I was having so many problems getting mine done. And I saw that others on Instagram were getting them done for like, within 2 months of the challenge. And I'm like, that's not right. Anyway, just before Christmas, I finally got an email saying that mine's pretty much ready to go. So I would give you the link, but it says currently unavailable. But I would love for you to buy my crazy little book. And it has one short story in it at the end to do with actually it's one I wrote years ago when I was hurting myself and just how I could imagine it visually, I guess. And then there are some silly poems, there's some fun poems, there's poems about all my favorite things in nature, like clouds, water, trees. And then there's some of worshipping God. There's a few that are sad or a little darker. But yeah, I'm really excited. So I would love for you to buy that when it becomes available. But the other exciting thing about my writing, like I've always loved writing, but I've always wanted to get myself published. Bucket list is pretty much done. I definitely have had a lifelong dream to be a published author, and it is so close. It's so close to being a reality. I'm very excited. But the other thing is, I'm actually also, I think it'll be published, but not not as my book. I've contributed to this anthology. I've written 2 poems based on 2 exhibitions I've went to for the Tarnandy Art Fair. And so in January 20th, I think at the art gallery, I will have the opportunity to read my 2 poems, which is another exciting thing. And they will all, I think all of the people who've done it, there's maybe 7 or 8 of us, all Nungas, and all written some kind of creative writing for the Tarnandy Fair, and all based on different exhibitions. So that is a major thing too. Like, and I get paid for it. I'm stunned about that. I'm still stunned that this will be my very first ever paid writing job. I'm so excited. Like, oh, things are happening. Another thing that was a big deal for me was the voice referendum this year. I got to meet Jacinta Price. Now, I know that people will hate on me for her, but she and I are on the same page in so much, in about not hiding and chucking things under the carpet, but bringing them out into the open so that we can actually work on issues and make communities and everything a better place to be. So I felt truly honoured. And you know what the best part was? As I walked up to her, she went, "Oh, we finally get to meet." And oh, that stunned me that she recognised me. I was so excited. And I'm pretty sure Jacinta and her husband Colin are Christians too, which is even better. Which also explains why they're on the same page as me. Hello, he's over here. He's been tormenting me. Do you want to say hello?
Hey.
Come say hello.
Hey.
He's been next door. Oh no, he's on a lead. All good. Or you can take him inside if you want. We do not let him out unless he's on a lead now, because poor Mick has lost 2 other kitty cats, so we're not risking it with this special little boy. He's either on a lead or he's inside. He loves being outside, but yeah, no. So anyway, meeting Jacinta was a huge thing for me. And then during her one of the night that I met her husband Colin actually sat next to me. So that was really special too. And of course, I'm really happy with the no result, because I mean, I've got videos about that as well, so you can go watch them. I just believe that we're a healthier country without it. Let's just say that for now, but if you want to go find those other videos on my stuff, you can, feel free. Mick has had a couple of bad things go wrong. A couple months ago, he burnt his leg. Well, it was actually my fault because I suggested something stupid and he did it. And so boiling water slipped out of our kettle all over his leg. So he had to have a lot of work on his leg, dressings and stuff for, it was only a couple weeks, but he still has a monstrous scar. I felt so bad. So what was happening, just because it sounds bad without explaining, is that he broke our toasty toaster, and I said just put something heavy on it to hold down the sandwich. And I said, oh, the kettle's pretty heavy, it's full of water, forgetting that he had actually just made me a cuppa 10 minutes earlier. So near boiling water, and it blistered bad. I felt absolutely awful. The other thing that happened with Mick just 3 days ago, I think, he was actually in a car accident with our neighbour. They were going just in Mawson Central, and Turbo just pops his head above the wheelie bin. All I see are these 2 black ears and a bit of the top. Looks like Batman, and then his eyes come up. Such a dag. So yeah, poor Mick was in an accident. A motorbike ran into his passenger door, and that's where he was sitting. So he's really shaken up at the moment, so maybe you could pray for him. And one final exciting thing for me, I got a new scooter. I'm so excited. Mine was on its last legs. It really was. But the McGrath Foundation actually helped big time in giving me some of the money towards it. And I had some gifts from God that also went towards it. And yeah, a week ago, maybe a week and a half ago, I got my new scooter. So I am pumped. So excited. So they're all my big things that have happened this year. I know this is longer, but I just have some quick prayer points to ask if you can pray for us. So firstly, pray for Mick and I and our whole street mission team, that God gives us the words to use when we are talking with people, and that God can bring the people to us that he really needs ministered to, and yeah, just that he gives us the words. That you could pray for my cancer. Again, all the info is in my Gotta Not Love Cancer playlist, so just look for that. At the moment, actually, I found out the Saturday before Christmas Eve, so the day before Christmas Eve, that I've got a broken back. So I really need prayer for that, because even just sitting here, it's just sharp pains and shooting pains and so I actually have got collapsed vertebrae. I think only one, but she actually felt I had to go into emergency again, thanks to a friend, Amanda, for telling me to ring oncology. And then they said go straight to emergency. So I went in there, they did a CT scan. Then they came and said, we think you've got a collapsed vertebrae, but we need, the spinal specialist wants to see more. So they did x-rays of different angles, and yep, I definitely have a sorry, I'm just looking at TERBs. I'm in a lot of pain at the moment, and I was really worried about going to Christmas with our dear friends, Matt and Michelle, and all that crazy fun gang. But so they gave me endone in the emergency, and that allowed me to get through through Christmas. So we were there from Christmas Eve to Boxing Day, and it was so good. Plus, as an added bonus that was not planned for, got to see my friend Wayne, who I haven't seen in over 25 years. So that was pretty special. And I think being with those guys really distracted me from the pain. Oh, sorry. Hello? And they really just being with them and hanging out and laughing and playing games, and it just was a great distraction from the pain. But the moment we've got home now and I'm actually resting in bed, it's excruciating. It is so painful. And because painkillers are extra hard to come by, I'm rationing them so that I'm only doing it if I am having a sleepless night, or so I'm trying to mostly just use heat, or because that's comfortable. It's probably not helping at all, but it makes me feel nice with the heat on there. So that's what I was going to say. I feel like there's another broken vertebrae down lower in my lumbar region. So this one's in my thoracic, it's T5. But I feel like there's one much lower down. But she didn't scan that because I had already told her that I get so many problems with my lower back. And that is really why I have mobility problems. It's because of my lower back. So she didn't worry about scanning that, although I wish she had, because it's the same kind of pain as up higher. It is very different to my normal lower back pain. So that's my suspicion. I don't know. Anyway, if you can just pray for that as well. And one last thing, just thank him for all of the blessings he's given us this year, because there have been a lot amongst all the sad things or whatever. God just brings blessings out everywhere, and it's so cool. And Mr. Turbo is one big one, I have to say. And yeah, we were talking about you. He just looked at me in the middle of another bath. So yeah, but not only Turbo, but the people that he's put in our lives are just major blessings. Reconnecting with friends. Wayne isn't the only friend I've reconnected with this year, and yeah, it's just been awesome. So I personally just thank God so much. And my prayer for you is that this coming year will be full of blessings from God, and that you will get to know him deeper. Maybe come do street mission. I'm finding that doing street mission, I am getting to know God so much more, because I want to be accurate in what I tell people about him or his word. So I'm going to the Bible a lot more. I'm talking to him even more than I was. And yeah, it's an awesome thing for your own personal relationship with God, is to do street mission, because you don't want to lead them astray. You know, you want to make sure it's accurate. Anyway, yeah, just my prayer is that you will have a blessed, wonderful new year, and all the year through till I talk to you at next year's letter. Thank you so much for listening, and I'm sorry this is long, but I hope you've enjoyed it, especially Turbo's antics. So, hey Turbs, let's say goodbye. He doesn't want to look. This way. Look, there you are. Say, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Thank you for watching. Love you. Bye. Hey, P.S. There's a few things that I forgot to mention, so I'm going to quickly say them now. Number one, I have now hit my 50 kilo weight loss. I'm so pumped. I'm so excited. It's taken a long time, but I've got to that first major milestone, and it's kind of scary to think, like, the size I am now plus another 50 kilos. Like, that blows my mind. I cannot fathom that. So it's slow. It's happening though. It is slow, but it's happening. Another exciting thing is that I actually hit 100 subscribers. In fact, I'm only, 3 or 4 subscribers away from 150. I'm so excited about that. Excited and Linda go together, hand in hand, very closely hand in hand. I get excited so fast, don't I? Anyway, I mean so much. Anyway, yeah. I hit 100. Well, I actually I had 88, I think. And I know that they were pretty much all but a couple are Facebook friends or in real life friends who were interested in my cancer journey. And I did some videos on The Voice and no real response. Then I posted one, and membership subs just suddenly jumped. So I got a nice little note from YouTube, and that was exciting. And now my next goal, not that I actually had an original goal, but now I do. My next goal is 200. And yeah, how cool. And I know that there's heaps that I've left out, but oh well, they'll just have to wait till another time, or maybe go check out my other videos, because it might be in there, whatever it is that I've left out. Oh, we did with Mix NDIS. He got in with a really awesome, beautiful little organization called Creating Community Locally, run by our friend Coralie. And so in July, we were able to go on their family camp, and it was amazing. We met some incredible people, as well as some that we already knew, and that has just blossomed out into another branch of family for us that, see what I mean about God's blessings? And even though, like, this is a tiny, tiny thing, look at these pajamas. Aren't they cute? Little cherries. Like, I even can't class that as little blessings, because I love them, and God's just help me find some that are so cute and super comfy to wear and really lovely fabric. I don't know what it is, but it's not natural, I don't think. Anyway, I'm sure there's lots more that I could say, but yeah, I really need to go because I'm sorry I've taken up so much of your time. But again, thanks for watching. Mwah. Have a great New Year's tomorrow night.